If it hurts, you ain't afraid, no gates, you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win ends. First you again, we're here for the first minute. Carry block, keep it every 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
You know, I know what I came here to do, and you know, it's my job to go and get that done.
Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. We play for another. We fight for another. Every fight, every play, every round. Hey, Tennessee on 2. 1, 2. Tennessee. Ball that team ready. Ball that team ready. Ball that team ready.
I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Coach Jay's in the house. Good old Nate Pruitt is here on this late night Talkin VAWLS. Man, look, I poured myself. I mean, we're not even disguising it in a Kingsport Mets cup tonight. We're drinking it straight out of the whiskey glass because, man, I thought I was going to sit down and watch Jake Paul knock out a bum. I thought he was going to knock out a 58-year-old bum. But instead, we got some great news. Nico Iamaleava is cleared. We got the news earlier today. VolQuest put it out that he was on the team bus. He was heading down to Athens. Now VolQuest reports he is cleared. And I thought, okay, we can go make a video. We can make a post. Or we can go live, an impromptu late night Talkin VAWLS live. That's what we're going to do. So do us a favor. Smash the thumbs up. Share out the link. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Let somebody know we're live. Let's have some fun tonight. I told these two before we went live, I said, I have no idea where this is going. I said, I may pull up Netflix and watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson right here do a watch party. I have no idea. It is up to you guys in the chat. You're dropping some door fees early, which I appreciate. Luke Thompson drops a $2 super chat, says door fee. Angry Titan for $2 says we need a Go Vols and Thank the Lord shirt. What are you trying to be Nate's rival? I mean, you're trying to steal Nate's thunder. That's what I'm getting here. MTB Nikki for 2 says, let's freaking go. A little spooky for 2 says, I didn't know there was a card at GBO, though. A card? What's he talking about?
Pre-fight.
Yeah. That was the one downfall tonight. It's like, man, they're not going to go out till like midnight, and I ain't staying up till midnight to watch those two guys spot. Johnny Freeze for 2 says, door feed GBO. We appreciate that. Luke Thompson for 2 says, Paul versus Tyson watch party. Never say never. But y'all know me, I scheme and scam. All I care about is money. I don't do impromptu lives for the sake of the community. I do it to make that cash, so we shall see. Crucial Faucet leadership. Did I say that right? Becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. Let's just jump right into it. Nate, the news comes out. How did you feel? Because me and Coach Jay were just live earlier this morning. How did you feel going into this game an hour ago versus how you feel right now?
An hour ago, I was still hopeful. I still had belief and faith in our team, in the defense, quite honestly, that we could go in and we could take care of business. But now that we got this news, it's a whole different atmosphere. And it will be a whole different atmosphere when we get in that stadium. The crowd is going to try to scream, and they're going to try to roar, and they're going to try to do everything they can. But our defense is going to shut them down. I almost want to say that our defense can possibly shut them out. And I'm hyped about it, man. I'm excited.
Coach Jay, how are you feeling, brother?
I feel great, man. I mean, I felt good this morning. You know, I'm kind of with Nate. I have a lot of faith in this defense. I was preaching that earlier. So when I got the Nico news, obviously I was happy. You know, there's still some things we're going to need to see on the field, right? We're going to need to see how much he's going to use his legs in this game. I think we all kind of agree that's an important element. We got to keep that backside end honest and from crashing down on our, on our run plays. So I'd like to see him pull it a couple times early. I think Georgia's defense is going to try to call that bluff. So I'd like to see us keep him honest. I'd like to see Nico bust open a nice 40, 50-yard touchdown run on his own read early in the game. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I love what Ben McKee said this morning on the morning show. He's because he was talking about just that, running Nico. Man, I think that's he brought up a good point. He brought up something that we've kind of been saying, like, what's the worst that can happen? Nico gets hurt. Well, I mean, the worst that can happen is you lose the game by coaching conservative. I feel like this is such a big game, and I know I said it, and Coach Jay, you kind of pushed back a little bit on it when I said this is the biggest game of Josh Heupel's career. The reason I say that, Nate, is 2022 Georgia. Yes, Tennessee was number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. The initial rankings came out. Tennessee's number 1. They go on the road to play Georgia. I didn't feel like in 2022 we had the dogs to go down to Georgia and beat them. I do feel like we do have the talent to go down there and beat them. I think we've got a better defense. I think if our offense clicks, I think we're a better football team. And if this game's in Neyland Stadium, I'm picking the Vols to win. What do you think, Nate? Biggest game of Josh Heupel's career, or maybe pump the brakes a little bit?
No, I do believe this. If this isn't the biggest game of Josh Heupel's career, honestly, I don't know what is. Like, this is it. I think it's a kind of a make or break for not just the football team, but for the fans. And I think that this is either going to be, hey, we're 100% with them, we're 100% behind this team, or else there's going to be a lot more people complaining he can't win on the road, he can't do this, he can't do that. And I believe if we get into those things, man, we will find out that this team's, I don't want to say their identity, but because I believe that's kind of already been found. But if the offense gets clicking and the defense keeps doing what it's doing, man, this team's unstoppable.
Let me catch up with some super chats. Y'all being very generous tonight, which we appreciate. We got almost 370 people watching live, an impromptu Talkin VAWLS live. There's no promotion. There's no, hey, guys, we're going live. It's boom, here's the stream. We're going live, and we got almost 400 people watching. Keep smashing that thumbs up. Keep sharing out the link. Billy Todd for 2 says door fee. Also dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis of the chosen one. Charles becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Charles. We appreciate you. Jeff drops a $5 super chat and says, go. Let's freaking go. Adam Lee for 2. Door fee. Also, please don't flop Tyson. What is he mad because I'm insulting Tyson? Because the chat went nuts. They went nuts when I said that Jake Paul going to beat up an old man. Oh, he's going to beat up an old man tonight. I've already got my tweet ready, by the way. If Tyson knocks him out, I've already got the tweet ready. Like, I've already got a draft. The draft is ready to go out, just so you guys know. Joey Carroll for 2, let's freaking go. Watching the Tyson Dorfy. What time? Man, it's going to be late. It's going to be, I mean, the main card just started. James Bradford, been a member for 25 months. We appreciate you, Brad. Joshua Wall drops a 20 spot. That is an Orange Boy, and for Orange Boys, we shall play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Joshua says, time to go beat the dogs. Nico throws for 250 and 2 touchdowns. I like it. Sign me up, Joshua. Travis drops a $20 super chat as well. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Travis says, GBO. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate that. David Franklin for 20. Y'all feeling generous tonight. Maybe y'all are just sipping on a little something and celebrating Nico as well.
Rocky Top!
David says FUGA fee. I like it, David. Thank you for the super chat. Caveman Boy for 2. Will Brooks will have 2 interceptions. He gets 2 picks. Should I buy a Will Brooks jersey, or should Coach Jay buy one? Let's make Coach Jay buy one. You guys know he's muted, right? Of course.
I'm not the one who's been doubting him though, Boogie. Like I heard that you've been doubting him, so you should buy the jersey. That's what I'm.
A little bit of preseason talk.
Yeah. Now, me, I believed in him the whole time. I never wavered. I was always like, yeah, Will Brooks is a speedster and he'll handle it.
Coach Ross just sent me a message on Facebook and said, damn, I wish I could. I'm at a playoff game. Did something happen? I said, Nico is cleared. He said, this is Coach Rice profanity. That's all I got was Coach Rice profanity. Sam Schrock for 5 says, Nico to Thornton for a 75-yard touchdown on the first play. Defense causes 4 turnovers. Boo returns a punt to the house. Send the puppies back home. GBO. Jamie Roberts drops a 50 spot. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Appreciate that, Jamie. Biggest donation of the night. Very generous super chat. Says Nico and Dante Thornton Jr. good to go. Play the clip. Wayne drops a 20 spot. Says Nico playing, huh? GBO. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Appreciate you, Wayne. Let's go back to Jamie's super chat here, Nate. Dante Thornton Jr. is a guy. Look, when your quarterback's down, when your quarterback's in concussion protocol, when you're worried about your quarterback, nobody's talking about Dante Thornton Jr. It's big to have him back too. Me and Kaner this morning on Locked On Vols, we kind of relived the draft that we did. And like he was, the whole reason he did it was just put himself over of how he drafted a better team than I did. He's taking his victory lap and his hair gets out of place. Poor Kaner. He didn't sell Dante Thornton enough, man. Like he is leading this team in receiving touchdowns. He's leading this team in receiving yards. Like I think Dante Thornton is a big piece of this offense, and it's big. Obviously, it's bigger, I think, to have Nico back, but it's also big, Nate, to have Dante Thornton Jr. back.
Oh, absolutely, man. I believe he's leading also with the yards after catch, and that's a big play, man. If you can not only catch the ball, but you can keep it moving and get those power plays. We want to see those deep shots. We want to see everything else, but it's good to know that you have some kind of relief if Nico does seem a little starchy. If he's a little tied up, if he's a little tight, it's good to get him some reliable receivers. And I know I've had issues with them before with the receivers, but that these kids are growing. These kids are playing some good ball, and I think it's good to see them all back. I think we're going to have a good time Saturday.
Yeah,
got that confidence. I like.
Yeah, I do, man. I do.
I think having Thornton's huge. Nico's huge. He kind of gives you that other side. You got old reliable on one side with Brew. You got Dante, who they have to account for. You have to honor both of those guys. It opens up the slot. It opens up Rizal. It just, it's a catalyst for our offense doing what we need it to be able to do for the deep threat to be there. So if Georgia's going to gamble, and load the box on us, we have to hit a deep ball or two to keep them honest. Dante's a huge part of that. Their wide receivers have struggled catching the ball as well. I think if we can one-up them in that category, it'd go a long way towards seeing a Tennessee victory tomorrow night.
We got 435 people watching live. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this impromptu Talking Balls live. Make sure you do smash the thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Super Nerd Hoyt drops a $5 super chat and says Dorfee GBO. Thank you, Super Nerd Hoyt, for the super chat. We appreciate that tip in the tip jar. Man, I had something I was going to ask Nate, and then it just completely slipped my mind. This is what happens when you do impromptu live streams and you can't remember what you were going to ask somebody. This game's big, man. Obviously, college football playoff. What do you think of that, Nate? We talked about it on the live stream Wednesday. Me and Coach Jay and Ben McKee talked about it this morning. You think there's some shenanigans going on there, bumping Indiana, bumping BYU in front of Tennessee? Do you think that's by design to try to sneak a Big Ten team in? Do you think it's by design to try to sneak an Alabama team in? I think it's win or go home for Tennessee tomorrow night.
Oh, I completely agree. It's win or go home. It's unfortunate, but you can see the bias clearly, and to the point where people are making skits about it. It's it's happening, and we see it before our eyes. Yeah, it is unfortunate. They are trying to push for Bama. They're trying to push for a Big Ten. Which we all know this. It's not anything that you can hide. Money rules everything, and whatever you can get the big ticket on, that's what they're going to push. That's what they're going to try their best to get. And it's been taught for 3 or 4 games since we beat Bama that they're trying to push Bama over us still, and they're trying to push Bama over. And there's no real way that you sit and think about it and you put it out on paper that they are better than us or they should be ahead of us in any kind of way. But if we lose this game, guarantee you they will push them in. They'll be in the back door in a heartbeat.
Now I know what I was going to ask you. See, I let you talk, and you talk about college football playoff and the screw job that is in place. But the beautiful thing is just go win, right? Just go win the game. Go beat Georgia. And don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Be a Jake Paul. Be a Jake Paul and go and knock out a 58-year-old Georgia Bulldog team. God. Just go knock them out. That's all you got to do. Don't play patty cake. Just go knock out a 58-year-old Georgia Bulldog team. What I was going to say is we've talked at length over the last several weeks about this offense being so close to clicking. And then you started to see Nico really play good football the last 8 quarters, right? Second half of Alabama, the entire Kentucky game, first half of the Mississippi State game. I think had Nico not gone down, he was going to put up some ridiculous numbers against Mississippi State. So I asked Coach Jay this earlier today, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. As Nico started to click, now he's in concussion protocol. He went through endos earlier in the week. Then he started to go through team practice, something me and Coach Jay talked about. It's not like he's taking hits in practice anyway. It's no contact because he's your quarterback. Right. Do you think there's any impact for him maybe losing what was starting to click based on what's happened the last week with the injury?
Unfortunately, I do. I see that it could be not detrimental, but I do see that there's going to need to be a warm-up because you can't get to full swing of things. You can't get the rush of everyone coming at you. They're not going to be able to smoke you when you're on protocol. I'm not saying that he's going to come out and play bad, but I am saying, please don't get mad at me at the chat. Here it comes. I am saying that it's going to be a tough first quarter. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of warm-ups, but once we see that, I believe we're going to see a blowout. I see that Nico's going to come in and he's going to get he's going to get used to it. He's going to have the pocket presence. He's going to have everything that he needs in front of him. The receivers are going to click. I'm speaking all this in faith, right? So I believe that it's going to happen, and I see that it's going to be a good time Saturday.
The entire chat has turned against me over this Jake Paul stuff. They all hate my. I didn't even know this. Jake Paul was talking stuff about Mike's daughter. I didn't see any of that.
It's all for money, guys.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, they are all getting richer off it. I don't even know that it's a real fight. Like, I've laughed about it, and like I play it up because it's funny. It's funny to watch people get so mad, but I truly do believe if it was a real fight, I think Jake Paul wins because Mike Tyson is 58 years old. And
Yeah.
I've seen what happens to guys that are 58 years old when you're competing in some type of martial art. And it's like it's the story of life, boys. You get old, you ain't the same as you used to be. Let me hit a couple real quick. Coach McGee for 20. That's an Orange Boy. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Coach McGee says GBO from the fire truck tonight. Glad Nico is back. I didn't know you were a firefighter. I love that. Appreciate what you do, Coach McGee. Jamie Roberts for 20 says, besides D-Samp, who makes that play tomorrow night? We'll play the clip. That's an Orange Boy.
Rocky Top!
Coach Jay, do you want to take this one first, or do you want me to just do you want me to make a viral clip? You take it first. I'll let you take the spotlight here. Who makes that play tomorrow besides D-Samp?
Man,
why is this number 8?
Yeah, definitely 8, right? But let me go ahead and take it from the defensive side. I think Jermod McCoy and Ricky Gibson are both prime candidates in this game. I do think that they're going to take some deep shots down the sideline to try to keep us, honest. Maybe it's a safety. Maybe they try the middle. I could see him maybe trying to pick on Turrentine as well. So he needs to be on his P's and Q's. But I think they take a shot or two at a one-on-one matchup between Ricky Gibson and Ricky Gibson and Jermod McCoy. So I could see him underthrowing one of those. I could see one of them taking it. It'd be nice to get Jermod McCoy to get a pick return back for a touchdown, or Ricky Gibson for that matter, and put him in that category. But it could come from Boo, it could come from Will. But I'd like to see a pick 6 in this game. I'd like to be talking about how that was a big play that put us on the board early, or kind of got us going early on, certainly. But yeah, Nico's going to need to make plays too in this game. Absolutely, he is. Whether it's extending a drive, whether it's switching field position on the other team, or laying a late dime in there, all of the Brazo play against Alabama or something like that.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Nico. I want to see, like, we've seen him start to play better football. I mean, he's played great. He played elite football early in the year, and everybody wants to chalk it up to opponents. And I get it, and that's fair. That's fair to say that. But when guys are running free, it don't matter if it's Alabama or Kent State. It doesn't matter who it is. And some of the throws he made early, man, it's like if you couldn't watch that and be like, this dude is different, man. He's different. And I loved Hendon Hooker. Some of those throws Nico made early, Hendo's not making those throws. And I love Hendon Hooker. And people get mad if you badmouth Hendon Hooker. And I'm not badmouthing him. He could not have made those throws. I'm ready to see. And like when we talk about becoming a legend, becoming a Tennessee legend, side note, sometimes we make mistakes, and I'm going to blame it on the chat. Somebody said, when was the last time Tennessee beat Georgia, Alabama, and Florida in the same year? Somebody in the chat said 2016, and I didn't do it's 2024. It's an election year. What do they say? Fact check. I didn't fact check. I just rolled with it, and then I got crucified for it because it was actually 2004, not 2016. So it's been 20 years. Let's go beat Alabama. Let's go beat Florida, and let's go beat Georgia. And I get it. People are like, well, Nico didn't beat him. The defense did. Nico didn't beat him. D-Samp did. Let Nico go beat Georgia on the road, and that's when you become a legend. What do you think, Nate? Who's going to make a play on Saturday that we're going to be talking about on Sunday?
Not just becoming a legend, but coming off of after the protocol of concussion protocol. Man, that'd be
like the MJ flu game. It's like the MJ flu game.
Yeah. So, no, I'm going to bring it back. I want to go on the defense side and say I agree. Maybe either Boo, I could see that. But I want to take back to the offensive side. I want to see Kitzelman. I want to see him get some good plays in there, and I want to see that tight end work go. I believe that we can – man, I just believe that we can go in there and we can own them. Like I know I'm kind of shooting dreams out here and passing off on must be high on the orange Kool-Aid or something tonight. But man, I just feel good. Like I don't have a worry in my mind at all. Seeing how Georgia played, seeing how all them, man, we're going to cut them to pieces. I'm not saying that it's going to be the big blowout. Y'all see my score. I know I said it earlier, but I was kind of just pumped up a little bit. My final scores for the thoughts of it, I'm thinking like a low, it's not really a low score game, but 27-24, 30-24, something like that. It's not going to be this massive Alabama game from way back. You know, it's going to be a hard fought game, but I believe we're going to take care of Georgia.
See, I think Tennessee can hold Georgia under 20. I think we can continue the streak of holding them under 20. The question was, can Tennessee get to 20? And I feel way more freaking confident about it right now, knowing that Nico's cleared, than I did an hour ago, Coach.
Yeah, you know, even like I just alluded to a minute ago, even from a field goal position, he just gives you that you know, ability to improvise a little more than Gaston. You know, I think everyone felt good about Gaston's ability to kind of, you know, be calm. He's a senior. He's been around. He's been in Heupel's offense. I don't think anyone was ever worried that Gaston would panic. But, you know, when the Georgia defense is putting their screws to him and he needs to wiggle out of a tight situation, that's going to happen in this game. And I think we all feel better about Nico being able to get out of those sticky situations and maybe extending a drive when we really need it, maybe flipping that field when we really need it, and being able to put our defense in a better position to get our offense back in a better position, or make that quick pick six in Georgia's territory or something of that nature. So I do think it gives us another element that we don't have with Gaston necessarily out there, that just ability to improvise out on the run, you know, that rollout deep pass like he hit against Thornton against Alabama, plays like that, you know, where he's on the move, he's hitting something crazy. The play that got called back against NC State, the touchdown to Kitzelman, comes to mind. There could be a lot of opportunities for those plays where seems like it's over, but he's able to wiggle out and make something big happen in the moment. So I think that could be absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's like I just took a shot at Hendo, you know, talking about his accuracy, but what he was so good at was escaping pressure, and that's what we see from Nico, and that's what scared me a little. I wasn't scared about Gaston taking shots down the field. I wasn't scared about him making throws. I was scared about his ability to make plays. Like, you need somebody to step up and go make plays. By the way, we got over 500 people watching live on this impromptu late night Friday edition of Talkin VAWLS
there
Live.
You go.
The link's out for Talkin VAWLS Elite and Higher. We're opening this dang thing up to a fan call-in show. You guys can come on, voice your opinion. We'll let you guys come on one at a time. We're going to keep it tight and clean. It's going to be short. Come on, give your opinion. We'll talk a bit, and then we'll move on. Bleed Orange for 20. That's an Orange Boy. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
I feel like Bleed Orange is now still in your gimmick. Now everybody's still in your gimmick, Nate. He says, howdy, Boogie, Coach Jay.
It's
and
a
Nate,
good one.
Glad Nico and Dante are cleared to play. I think Nico connects to Thornton and Brew deep, hit Brazel in the corner of the end zone, and D-Samp is going to have a Heisman night. GBO. Thank you, Bleed Orange. Appreciate you, brother. Michael Davis for 5. I'm so glad Nico and Dante Thornton are back. I'd assume Tyree West will be too, since he hasn't been on the injury report. Was he even listed on it at all?
No.
So he's got to be clear, right? And that kind of confused me about Georgia's offensive line, because everybody says they're beat all the pieces. And my neighbor that I've talked about all week, because he's a big Georgia fan, he left today. We should go roll his yard. Let's go back to middle school and go roll his yard. He's on his way to Athens, and he was talking about how beat up the offensive line was. And then the injury report comes out, and there's one guy listed on it. So we'll see. But you can be beat up and still go play. We'll see. I would imagine Tyree West is good to go. 3 up, 1 down for 5. Vols win by 2 touchdowns. Our defense is the truth, and with the threat of Nico in the game, they can't overstack the box. We beat the big 3 this year. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Tyler Maxwell for 5. Sup, Boogie, Coach Jay, Nate. It opens up a butt whooping. It's time for war in Athens. Just win. So fired up and ready. This one is for the haters. I love when y'all super chat for people that hate super chats. It makes me happy. Although Kaner texted me today, and he's like, sorry, Boogie, it's not just the comment section that hates you. Now it's me too. And he was agreeing with him and just hating on me. I'm like, Kaner, you're a prick. Like, he never reads the comments, and he's in the comments just trolling me because he thinks it's funny. By the way, if you comment on Kaner's Friday video and say that you hate me coming on, let me know that I'll let y'all know he makes fun of you off air. just so you know. The text today said, Boogie, screw them all. You got to open invite to this channel anytime you want to come on. Kaner's the man. I love a good troll. I love a good troll. Gregory C drops a 20 spot. That's Orange Boy. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Shout out Gregory C. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate you, my man. We got checkerboard overalls. I don't know if he's making a cocktail or a protein shake. He looks like he's getting swole. He looks like
there you go.
What? Oh, wait, is he eating raw eggs?
What's up, fellas?
Are you eating raw eggs? Are you Rocky Balboa?
Yeah.
No, those are lemons. I'm making a cocktail.
There you go.
My man. See, I thought he was
making the
drinking
wife
raw
a
eggs.
cocktail, but I'm making us both one now since she asked for one. So
Smart man. Smart man indeed.
Well, so what is the cocktail? Because I care way more about that. What's the drink? What's the mix?
So being from Arkansas, we have a little Rocktown Distillery grapefruit vodka, couple lemons, and then some Sprite Zero. Simple but awesome.
Love it.
Love
it. All right, so are you having cocktails? Are you having drinks to celebrate that Nico is cleared? Nico is good to go tomorrow. How you feeling, man?
That's right. I feel a whole lot better now that he's active. That's for sure.
So, like, walk us through that. Like, did you think Tennessee had a chance before Nico was cleared? Did you feel like, well, we got no shot? Now you feel like, well, we're going to go dominate, or now we have a shot? Like, walk us through that your mental state over the last 2 hours, really.
Yeah, I think if Nico was not going to play, our defense was going to have to once again hold the team to 20 points or less, or under 20 points, and we are probably going to have something special on special teams happen. But with Nico playing, I feel like our offense is going to have a little more ability to punch something in the end zone than we would without him. So I'm way more confident. I'm excited he's going to play. I know concussions are a very sensitive thing. I hope that's not something that rears its ugly head again this game. That would be absolutely terrible. But he got cleared to play. He's healthy to go. Let's roll with him.
I love it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Jump in there, Nate.
Oh man, it's the best thing. It's the best news you've heard today. And I do believe what you said. You know, it will open up those plays a little bit more with Nico being able to have that threat, because everyone knows. You know, people want to back talk and they want to say, oh, you know, he's not him, he's not that guy. But they're also scared to play against him because they know he's going to put up that points. And not just that, but you get too comfortable with Nico, here comes Samson, man, and it's just a dual threat, man. It's going to be great.
Do you like, me and Coach Jay this morning talked about the Heisman odds, and this is not some list. It's not some writer's list. It's not ESPN bias or media hate. It's Vegas, and Vegas is in the business of making money, and DSAMP wasn't even in the top 10. Like, does that surprise you? And Coach Jay tried to play devil's advocate, and I buried him. I destroyed him. Probably why he turned his camera off, because he knew I was going down this road. He's like, oh, wow, I got owned right there. Like, DSAMP has stepped up in SEC games and led this team to victory. Like, let's say he goes down to Athens and has 20, 25 carries, 150 yards, 2-3 touchdowns. Do they finally put some respect on his name for Heisman? It's like, and I get it. Everybody talks about the kid from Boise State, and he's a great running back. What does he look like in the SEC? What would DSAMP look like at Boise State playing against that level of competition? How different does that look?
Oh man, you know that's going to be it's completely night and day difference. There's talk of Indiana had our schedule or BYU had our schedule. Any of those guys, man, they couldn't do what Tennessee has done. And I just believe that as much as I want Simpson to be in, I don't think he's going to, because Tennessee's hot to talk about, but they're not hot to get behind and support. So
yeah. Checkerboard overalls. Let me ask you a question that came in on a super chat earlier that the three of us answered. Who are we talking about on Sunday when we wake up for Tennessee?
Oh man, y'all put me on the spot. I think if it's after a win, it's got to be either Nico or I'm a big proponent, or I feel like on the big games, the big time players got to show up, and that would be James Pierce Jr. having himself a day.
I like it. And I think that's a huge key to this game is Tennessee's defensive line. Like I've said it all week long. I think Tennessee's defensive line, I think their entire defense is better than what Ole Miss brings to the table. And I think if and we talked about ETN this morning, ETN being out of the game. That's huge, man. That is huge. Their running back out of the game. I think this defensive line can make Georgia one-dimensional, and then a guy like James Pierce or a guy like Joshua Josephs, they can pin their ears back, get after the quarterback, and force Carson Beck to do what he does, and that's make mistakes. And then we got to capitalize on it. And I like the way some of you guys think, saying pick six, make a play. Go make a play, man. Go make a play. Let me catch up with some super chats here. The link is out. I'm look, we're winging it, man. Impromptu. I put the link out for Talkin VAWLS Gold and higher. You're excited. You're fired up. You want to come on here and you want to talk about Nico being cleared. You want to talk about Dante Thornton being cleared. Come on. Now is the time. If not, we'll wrap it up. It'll be a short stream, but this was way better than just putting out a video. Way better than putting out a video. Dylan Elam for 5 said Lance Hurd's money game. You want to put some good game tape out, go out there and lock down Nico's blindside. Vols by 50. Angry Titan for 2. John Jones makes his return to UFC tonight too. Is that is tonight? I thought it was tomorrow night.
I thought it was tomorrow night.
I think it is tomorrow night. I thought the weigh-ins were today. Regardless, somebody said Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. And I said, you spelled John Jones wrong. Just like Angry Titan spelled John Jones wrong, they spelled John Jones wrong. John Jones is the baddest man on the planet. I don't care how good your hands are. John Jones is the baddest man on the planet. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's talk about Lance Hurd. Coach, how do you think Lance Hurd's been playing lately compared to earlier in the year?
It's night and day. It's literally night and day. I'd still like a little bit lower of a pad level on him. He still could have a little bit better hand discipline at times on his placement, but I know it's been floating around and people have been posting whatever the stat is that over the last 2-3 games he's allowed whatever. I can't remember the stat everyone's posting, but
2 hurries, that's it.
Yeah. So,
wow.
But just as you know, Coach Rice and I both are crazy and rewatch these games millions of times, and it's obvious that he's playing a lot better and is slowly gotten into fighting shape as well. And that's a big part of it. It's really a huge part of it. Look, I know we haven't gone as fast as we've gone at times, but this team's still going in the top 20 for speed, especially at home. And we've been at home. So, he's starting to get into fighting shape, which is really, really good. He's going to need a good game. Georgia's defense line's not as dominant as it has been, but it's still really, really good. And they're not going to run out of guys either. So expect them to run multiple lines at us, just like we run multiple lines. Expect their defensive line to try to take us in deep water as well. They're going to need to be in shape, and we're going to need those utility guys, those guys that go in there and give our guys a blow, for whether it be someone like Lampley giving, Carrick a blow or, and something like that. We're going to need those guys to play well in those spots also. I think it's important to remember when we play the big boys, when we play the Alabamas, when you play the Georgias, and we talk about starting to have some of that depth, being able to play with them, this is what we're talking about, right? Is having that depth thick enough to deal with them. And look, it's great to have it in those positions. There's 1 or 2 groups, and that's why I pushed back on you, if you recall earlier today, Boogie, is I don't think we're that deep in every single group as some of the big boys, but man, it's like 90% of it now. It's so close, and the way we're recruiting, man, it just, I'm fired up. And if we were to lose tomorrow, which I don't think we will, I have great belief in what we're going to do tomorrow. But if we were to, I would still have all kinds of hope and all kinds of belief in this team with what we're doing and the program we've been building.
Checkerboard overalls, we got Michael in the back room. We're going to get him on. Give us, as of right now, we're still going to do our tailgate show tomorrow night. Hope everybody comes back for that one as well. And then post-game show. What's your score prediction as of right now on a Friday night? Knowing that Nico's cleared, you're riding that high. You got a little bit of that, I don't know, that little bit of alcohol in your blood that's got you a little bit more confident than usual. Liquid courage, they call it.
There you go.
I don't have enough of it in me to say Vols by 50, but I'll say Vols 24, UGA 17.
I like it. You're right on that
I like
number,
it.
man. You're right on that number. We hold them under 17. We find a way to get to 20. Oh, man, look, Phil's right there with you. Phil says same score you
There you
said.
go, Phil.
I like it. We appreciate it. Checkerboard Overalls, thanks for jumping on. You and the wife enjoy the drinks. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow, brother.
We'll do.
Go Big
See you,
Orange.
fellas.
All right, let's get Michael on here, see how he's feeling on this Friday night. When did you get the news, man? Did you see it on Twitter, on Facebook, or you like, why in the world is Talkin VAWLS live right now?
It came across my Instagram, actually. And then
There
it
you
was not 10 minutes later, it popped up and it said Talkin VAWLS live. I was like, they don't usually go live on Friday nights.
Got the schedule.
But I'm glad you did, because I won't be able to be on the tailgate tomorrow because I'm going to Tennessee to visit my grandfather who's in the hospital and not doing very well.
Oh, I hate to hear
Be
that,
praying
man.
for
Hate to hear
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
thank y'all.
Sucks.
Yeah, we honestly think he probably didn't have a whole lot of time left. He's 89, so he's up there.
Right.
Well, enjoy your time with him tomorrow. Let's provide a distraction for you tonight. How are you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this game coming up tomorrow? Tell us where you were at an hour ago versus where you're at now that you know the news that Nico's cleared and
I'm
Dante
more
Thornton's
confident.
cleared.
I'm more confident now than I was an hour ago. Now that I know the news.
Where were you an
that
hour
Nico's
ago?
back.
Did you feel like Tennessee was going to win? Did you have like this? Like I feel like some of us. I'm looking in the mirror. Put on a fake act on Wednesday night and talk about those moments and winning games. Where were you? Where were you? Did you think Tennessee was going to win this game?
I think we definitely can. I worry about playing on the road. Y'all said we've not played well on the road under Heupel. That's like the one area we struggled. Arkansas this year, South Carolina 2022,
Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah, I mean got destroyed by Missouri last year, and Georgia. Well, no, Georgia was at home. We still got destroyed.
Yeah, Georgia
But-
2022, but we didn't have the horses. We didn't have the horses for 2022 like we do now.
Yeah, I think our defense is a lot better this year, and I think our offense is capable of being as good as that 22 offense too. We just got to put it together and quit making mistakes. Like
Yeah,
we can't have a fumble or a mistake on our first drive like we have. Well, actually, we scored on our first drive against Mississippi State. The fumble's on the second drive.
Yeah. And you bring up an interesting point, Michael. This team, gosh, this is kind of a weird question for me even to ask, but this team has played from behind a little bit over the last few games. Do you feel
back against Florida, Alabama?
Yeah. Back and Kentucky, for that matter, down at the half against Kentucky. Do you think that's going to serve us well here? Like we get down early, are you going to, feel like we can't come back, or are you going to kind of be like, okay, we've been here before, we can get it done?
If it was Neyland, I'd absolutely be like, we've been here before, we can get it done. But the fact that on the road can make that harder if we get behind early.
Sure.
I personally think we need to not get behind early. I think it's going to make it a lot harder to win if we do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's going to get their crowd involved if they get up early. It would be really nice to quiet them, right?
Yeah, I saw a comment from somebody today that said Georgia Stadium's really quiet. It's not loud. I'm like, you don't remember 2022? How much that crowd? How many false starts we had because of that crowd?
It's going to be
It's
going to be louder tomorrow
something?
night. It's going to be louder.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's
And
a
I
blackout.
question.
Yeah, I think Georgia's going to be pissed off because they lost to Ole Miss.
Yes. Like I'm sick of hearing that their backs against the wall, but they're gonna come out and play tomorrow night. We're in a fight tomorrow night. Unlike Jake Paul, we're actually going to be in a fight. We're not going to go beat up an old man. We are actually going to be in a fight tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're going to have to play well in every facet.
He'll get knocked out just like Georgia.
There you go.
But
Michael, give us your final score prediction on this Friday night.
Well, stuff. I'm going to say, I think it's going to be kind of low scoring. It's going to have to break one. I'm going to say Vols 17, Dogs 14.
Ooh. I like it. Let's go win on defense. We appreciate you jumping on, man. We got a couple more back here. We're going to try to get as many as we can on. Always good to have you on. Praying for your grandfather. Enjoy that time.
Yeah, thank you.
For real. All right, later, Mike.
Yeah, we'll do.
You, brother.
You got it.
Let me get a super chat real quick. Luke Thompson for 5. Can't wait to throw out my Carolina Reapers tomorrow when we win. Luke wants to eat a Carolina Reaper if Tennessee loses. And then when he's like, Nico's going to be out. Nico's going to be out. I get a free pass. I said, nope. That was not the deal. We didn't have any claws in there. Dustin, look at this. We got Dustin in the house. Usually he only drops super chats for VolQuest. Dustin must be lost. He must think
Looking
this
like
is
James
VolQuest.
Bond over there in that picture.
Look at him.
Like James
Oh,
Bond.
man. That's got to be an album cover. Got to be an album cover. Let's play the clip for Dustin.
Rocky Top!
Dustin says we have yet to see our best game. Got to clean up red zone, bring out the whole playbook. Got to run Nico, injured or not. I'm not sorry. I agree with that. Need 2 turnovers and tighten up run D GBO. By the way, Dustin, are you coming on for the post game? I've not even messaged him yet. I need to know if Dustin is going to be here. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Good to see you piping in on this impromptu late night talking balls. Let's get Bleed Orange on here. Let's just do this. Let's just open it up. Let's just open it up. Boys, look at these 2 guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on a second. Look at this.
That's the man right there.
Hey, Boogie, I had to throw this on here real quick just because
Who wore that?
you said I was trying to steal his thunder earlier
Dude,
with
y'all
my
look like
super
brothers.
chat.
You look
That's
like
right.
before and after. You
wore
look
that
like you got the same t-shirt on. Y'all got the same t-shirt on. Y'all look like before and after, like
That's
shaved,
right.
unshaved. Like what the heck is going on?
Hey,
I love
Boogie,
it.
like I said, I had to throw that on because with my super chat a minute ago, I said howdy, and you said I was trying to steal his gimmick. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show up looking just like old Nate Pruitt.
You look exactly like you
it.
got the same shirt, same hat. What the heck?
Oh my!
Just a little bit smaller.
We got Daniel in the house. We got Sora the Demon here. Let's just look. We sell this channel as being crack open a beer, pull up a chair, let's hang out. Let's do that. So if you want to cut somebody off, you want to interrupt somebody, this is 6 dudes talking. Don't let me. I'm not the host that's got to lead people into it. Let's just freaking talk, and we'll let Sora the Demon kick it off. Where's your confidence level at now that Nico's cleared?
Now that Nico's like coming back, like he's cleared the concussion protocol and everything, probably about a 6-7. I still feel it's a very close game. It is something that you're going to have to fight tooth and nail for every yard. They're not going to let you walk into Athens and just let you take it. So you know their season's on the line just like ours. So I'm agreeing with a lot of people saying, you know, it's a close game either way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
See, this is where y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. Don't wait on Boogie. Don't wait on Coach Jay.
Go ahead,
Jump
Daniel.
in. Jump in. Let's go.
I'm not. No, I'm thinking it's gonna be close, but close as a butt whoop is what it's gonna be. We're gonna roll. That's all I know. Not to steal from old boy Roy, whatever his name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think we're gonna roll them, and I felt that way even with gas pipe playing. I understand.
There's a lot of people that are discounting Gaston more, and it baffles me because I'm like, yeah, all you've really ever seen was that one throw from Alabama, and then they ignore most of the second quarter of Mississippi. Is he as good as Nico
In the second
talent-wise?
half,
Maybe not, but I mean, he's got decision making. You know,
I go back to what Coach Jay said. It's his mobility. It's his elusiveness. That was my concern. Can he make the throws? 100%. I got.
But you don't hear that. Everyone's always talking. You know, he's going to make bad decisions. He's going to throw into bad coverages and this, that, and the other. It's like he's got good decision making. He may not have the wheels under his legs, but you know that's fine.
Yeah, I think if
you can scheme up a good game around that.
Yeah, I think if you're judging Gaston based on the one play where he came in against Alabama and it was third in a Texas mile, and he was kind of putting him cold out of the bullpen. They called him, didn't get one warm up pitch. Bullpen catchers were all out with pneumonia or whatever, and he just got called straight in. Yeah. That isn't exactly. That's not fair to do, right? That's not fair to judge him based on that moment. And so, I agree with you. Gaston's been around a long time, you know, spent some time, got a lot of run at UCF. He's seen a lot of football. He knows the offense. I think we all felt comfortable with that. And hey, look, we're not on the clear, right? Like we're still one play away from in this game. You know what I mean? From a nasty headshot or something like that. It could not even be a concussion, but can you imagine something where Nico gets up with a little cobwebs and Yeah, maybe they want to play Gaston for 6 minutes, let Nico get his feet back out,
Absolutely.
from under him. That can happen in this game, and it shouldn't shock anyone if it does happen.
Dylan, I like Dylan's comment.
With all of us already kind of, yeah.
I was just gonna say he's a serviceable backup, but not an SEC starter. But I think we're blessed to have him. Like it's not typical that you're gonna have a 5-year starter or a 5-year veteran guy that knows the offense the way he does. We're probably not gonna see this again. Like it's just the reality of the situation.
You look at Hendon Hooker, you look at Joe Milton, Nico Iamaleava, you've had Taven Jackson. Every single one of them has come into this. Hooker had 2 years, Milton had 3. You know, Nico's at this point kind of like 2. But the one thing you noticed about Gaston Moore, Heupel let him actually go into the huddle and call the play. You don't see that with anybody else. He knows the plays. He knows what to look for. He's reading defenses properly. I think we'll be okay with him if he needs to go in and relieve Nico for a little bit. The biggest thing about this game, though, is which Tennessee team shows up. Is it the Tennessee team that shows up in Neyland, or is it the Tennessee team that showed up in Arkansas? That's going to be.
I think it's going to be. They're going to show up ready to play. Our defense is going to be lights out. We're going to hold them to under 100. I'll say under 80. I know we've looked a little shaky the past couple of weeks, looking at a little bit of eye candy, being out of gaps, things like that. But honestly, I think we're going to hold them under 80. Samson, like I said in my super chat, is going to have a Heisman night. Nico's going to throw, we'll say two touchdowns and throw for 250. But this defense is going to have their head on fire, and they're going to eat. And one of the things I was going to say about Gaston, it was awesome to see that, not good to see Nico get hurt, but for him to come in and Heupel trust him and trust that he's going to do the thing and let him air it out. He's not elusive. He's not going to be able to break for runs, but I mean, that's why I say either way, I think we would have been okay. I mean, I know that I don't think Ole Miss got too many deep shots, but now that Nico's playing, they're not going to be able to load up the box.
Yeah.
And if they do, I think somebody said it earlier. I hope Nico busts for a couple 30 to 40 yard runs, and this is going to be lights out.
Yeah.
Daniel, what do you think if Gaston has to go in? How hard are they going to rely on Samson? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Samson's going to be relied upon either way. Honestly, I think he's going to have a good night.
Daniel, you're
Lewis
on mute.
is going to get a touchdown too.
Yeah.
Lewis is going to get a touchdown too. I think you need to make a shirt. I'm on mute, but
it's coming soon. Don't you worry, you're muted. Is coming soon, but it's going to have Coach Jay's face on it. Daniel, how do you jump in there? Nate threw that question. How do you think Gaston Moore handles it if he's got to come in?
I think he's going to handle it just fine. I mean, he's done good. He did good against Mississippi State last week. And competition's going to be a little bit bigger, but given what Georgia did against Ole Miss, I'm not convinced that this is a Georgia team that were they the team that beat Alabama a few weeks ago? And who were among the teams that beat Alabama? Yeah, we did. So I'm convinced that Gaston Moore will do just fine.
I think it's funny that Alabama gets any hype at all, and it's like, well, it's so funny that they act like the Arkansas loss is so bad, and the Vanderbilt loss is just like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
So what happens when Tennessee goes and beats Vanderbilt? Like, does that win mean something? Like, if Tennessee has a head-to-head win and a win over one of your losses, it's like it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Just a little bit.
Just go.
I'm throwing some shade to the media here, but they're gonna see us in a higher light when we beat Vanderbilt as opposed to beating Georgia. When you look at it that way.
To that point, that Bleed Orange put out, I think Samson is going to be relied on even with Nico, But the trick is going to be, can you get, if you have to go to more, I think the big thing is it's not that hard to execute across the rest of the border and get, 3 yards here, 4 yards there, make it third and short. Gaston can make those throws. Make it easier on your backup to let him actually go out there and play. And someone, I can't remember who I was watching a video of, they come up and stated, like, if it's Gaston, he can't pick apart the defense. He can't, dot them down the field. He doesn't have to. Coach Heupel wants this team to be physical. He wants them to run. This playbook runs, and it makes the run game efficient. It makes the run game viable. And as long as that run game is efficient, your quarterback is going to have very simple, easy throws that he can go, rely on to make. Then once those start working and the defense cheats up, that's when you would see the bomb down the field. Everyone always mistakes us for an air raid. We're not an air raid.
Mm-hmm. No, veer and shoot.
Yeah, I think one other thing that's going to be key too is if I remember right, Georgia was pretty gassed. I think that Ole Miss kind of ran a little bit of tempo on them and had them gassed. I think we need to bring that in and get them tired early and just bust them in the mouth. I mean, I'm talking
watching that game. Their biggest things is their defense kept pressuring Carson Beck and kept forcing it. It wasn't this big offensive explosion. They just kept making field goals like in the 10 and 20 yards. Like the defense literally just pressured Carson because they have no run game whatsoever during that game. And just, Kiffin made them go for high efficiency, easy plays.
They've not had any run game all year. They're 104th in the country in rushing offense.
Yeah,
and that's what sets you up to put Carson Beck in situations where he's going to make mistakes. And I think Tennessee has every opportunity in front of them to do that. Let me hit a super chat real quick. SP Weasel, we'll drop the clip because that is an Orange Boy.
Rocky Top!
A $30 super chat, very generous, my man. We appreciate it. Says thanks for the insights, gentlemen. GBO. We're up against it. I wanted to do about an hour tonight, so let's just get you guys out the door. Give us your final score prediction, keys to the game. Who are we talking about on Sunday? Spin it however you want to spin it. Sword of the Demon, you kick us off first here. Keys to the game and a final score prediction. And by the way, shout out for coming on, man. Like,
good to see you, man.
You in the chat all the time.
I was finally home to where I could actually join in.
You're here every Tuesday night. Every time the lights come on, it's good to have you on here hanging out with us.
Glad to be here. Keys of the game is, like I said before, same thing as Ole Miss did, and of course, make the game our own. Force them to be one-dimensional. They don't have a good running game. Stick to your lanes. Execute, like I've said all season. Make the game your own. Beat your one-on-ones. Do your job. And as long as you do the job correctly and efficiently, you can win this game, both on offense and especially on defense. You can make it very, very hard for Georgia to get anything done, and we've seen it happen. They are not invincible. But that doesn't mean that we can slack jaw and everything else. O-line is definitely going to be on both sides a big factor. Their O-line is beat all to heck. So is ours. But at the same time, let's see, I saw someone earlier, this was Lance Hurd's money game. Protect that blind side. Execute. Do your job. And it doesn't require some miracle play to win. Just do the simple things at an elite level. As for a prediction, I still think this is a close game, but I feel as though with that defense, and if they travel and they do well, and our offense, as it's shown to be picking up steam, I think we could get out of there with like either a 20-14 or like a 23-17 or 14. It's close. It's within a touchdown. This is going to be a knockout, drag out fight and this is what it should be. This is the SEC. This should be a close fight. This is going to be a tough fight. This is a rival. We're going into their home. They're going to defend it tooth and nail.
I love it. Soar the Demon.
Yep.
Appreciate you coming on, brother. Hope to catch you tomorrow on the tailgate show and the postgame show.
If I get time, absolutely.
All right, love it, brother. Have a good night.
Take care.
See ya.
Have a good one, man.
All right, Daniel, give us your little keys to the game, score prediction, whatever you want. The floor is yours.
All right, sounds good to me. Offensively, I think Tennessee has got to have to control the game. That offensive line, they need to guard Nico Suave like as if their lives and livelihoods depended upon it. They do that. They all go, and then they need to unleash that cheetah, which is Dylan Sampson. Let him turn him loose. That defense, they have held practically every opponent that they faced under 20 points a game. I expect that to continue. They do these things, we win. I think it's going to be a drawn-out fight. It's probably going to be, I'm thinking close to about, I'm thinking 24-17 Tennessee beating Georgia. And we're going to be going to the title game for the first time in a while. And I'm still hoping and beyond hope that we get Texas so we can have this all this discussion about who the real UT is still on the field once and for all.
I like it, brother. Appreciate you jumping on, hanging out with us on this Friday night.
And one other thing, Tennessee hadn't played Texas in 1969. That was the last time they played them. Just
Nice.
I like it. I like that in the SEC championship. Have a good night, Daniel. Appreciate you jumping on, brother.
Oh, today was my birthday too.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
buddy.
Happy birthday.
My son's
Thanks.
birthday. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my son's birthday. So
Happy birthday, Coach Jake's
Happy
son.
birthday to your son.
Yeah,
All right, later,
yeah,
Daniel.
there
Have a
you
good
go.
night, brother. And by the way, Coach Jay, happy birthday to your son. Tell him to check his PS5 messages.
I will. I'm going to call. I actually haven't talked to him yet. I just sent him money, and he was like, "Sweet, I'm going to go spend your money, Dad."
That's all he wanted.
I'm not
He
going
didn't-
to
he
text you back. Yeah,
he didn't need to talk to you on his birthday. By the way, these make me laugh. Jeremy calling me out, calling Tyson a what's that word? What is that word? A bumba? A bumba? Calling Tyson a bumba is a bit much. Hope y'all never take a flight together. What is Tyson gonna do? Knock me out? It's a joke. It's satire. It's having fun. I troll the chat. That's what I do. Y'all troll me, I'm gonna troll you. Y'all hate App State, I'm gonna wear App State merchandise. Y'all talk about Mike Tyson, I'm taking Jake Paul by knockout. But guess what? I'm not lying. He's gonna knock Mike Tyson out. It's the reality of the situation. All right, Bleed Orange. Have you noticed something though?
I don't know,
bro. I've already got my tweet ready. I'm not spoiling my tweet. Jake Paul's gonna knock Mike out. I'm gonna go upstairs and watch it. Actually, I probably won't. I was talking to Culberson about it, and we were like going back and forth. I'm like, bro, you know they're not like walking to the ring till like midnight. I will be asleep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never gonna make it till
9
midnight.
o'clock. It's like 9 o'clock.
No,
We're good.
yeah,
It's like 9
West Coast.
o'clock.
Why do
man.
y'all drive everything? Barry Bonds trying to break the home run record. Boogie having to get up at 5 o'clock for work. I'm like, can you please just sit up? I hate you. I hate your
Dude, like
guts.
80% of the
Pump full of
population lives
steroids.
here. I'm sorry.
Bleed Orange. Have you noticed though, guys? There's a common theme here. All the predictions are Georgia scores less than 20. That's the key here.
It's got to be.
That's the key. Bleed Orange, give us your final keys to the game, thoughts, and a score prediction.
I think as long as they keep Nico upright and play a cleaner game than they have been playing on the offensive line, I think we'll be good there. And on defense, just live in Georgia's backfield. Scheme it up, throw some blitzes. I mean, Boo's going to get a pick, and we'll say Will Brooks gets a pick. But if they live in the backfield and they make them one-dimensional, they have no shot, period. And I don't care. We could have our third string in there, and they don't have a shot. Georgia's not that good. I could care less what the media thinks, what anybody else thinks. They are not that good. They're not the Georgia of old. And right now, if we're going to do it, dadgummit, right now is the time to do it. So my score prediction is going to be 35-13. And
man, that's
what
I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm not gonna have a red face when I come on here. I'm gonna be cool, calm, and collected. I like it. Bleed Orange, you're the man. I love the bit. I love when y'all lean into things, and you repping the cowboy hat was a beautiful thing. I love this community. I love that we can rip on each other, tell jokes, have fun. That's what makes this the best dang community for Tennessee football on the internet, period. Hands down, no questions asked. Bleed Orange, we love you, brother. Hope to catch you on the tailgate show tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be there.
Later,
All right.
little brother.
Later, brother.
Nah,
little brother. Called him little brother. Oh, little bleed orange. Cute little bleed orange. He's like that little middle school brother. Nate's the high school senior. He's on varsity. He's the starting right tackle. And Bleed Orange is like, one day I'm gonna grow up and be like Nate. I love it, man. I love it. We're gonna call it a wrap. I appreciate Nate and Coach Jay jumping on here. I texted Coach Jay and I said, I'm debating going live, man, with the news about Nico. And he goes, what's the debate? I'm like, did he not understand the text message that I just said?
No, I didn't.
I'm like the debate is whether or not I'm going to go live. And he's like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, we doing it. And I came down here as fast as I could. I hit up Nate. I hit up Dauber. I hit up Coach Rice. And I was like, whoever wants to come on. We'll have a good time. The Queen Lurkers in the house. Michelle drops a 20 spot. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Appreciate you, Michelle. We thank you for the super chat. Thank all of you all for the generosity tonight, man. It's fun to get. Again, I could make a video and it could get a lot of views and it could be good for the channel, or we could come on and we could celebrate some good news and talk about this game coming up tomorrow. I'm excited, man. We still got a tall task in front of us. We still got to figure out how to go win on the road. I think this is the next step for Josh Heupel. I think it is a huge opportunity. Let's go beat Georgia. Let's go win an SEC championship. Let's go compete for a national championship. Let's freaking do it. I'm excited. Tailgate show tomorrow, an hour before kickoff. Also live immediately following the game. If you missed the game day breakdown, maybe I like a little clickbait. I changed the name of it. Guess what? It got more views, more eyes on what Coach Jay and Coach Rice bring to the table. So if you missed it, go give it a watch. Really, really good stuff earlier this afternoon. But that is going to do it for Coach Jay. For good old Nate Pruitt, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.